I think I've always tried to be really thoughtful and strategic about things because from that experience with Clara Lee, knowing that people weren't gonna say yes to it, and eventually someone did say yes to it. Wanting to get to a place where I can do whatever I want and people will want to buy it. And then I think when you gain the trust of readers to say, like, listen, this might not be the story that I'm used to or that feels familiar to me, but because I like trust you and I like your stuff, then I'll go for
Give
it.
it a chance,
and I felt like with To All the Boys, that was definitely, for me, I thought the story has a lot of like effervescence to it. It has a lot of just like lightness that people I think will be drawn to this character. And subconsciously, people think when they see a book cover with a non-white person, people think it's going to be like a more of a tough read. And they're like, oh, I just want to be at the beach and like have a light read.
Right.
Because for so long, stories about people of color have been all about our pain. And that's what people want is like our pain. Like, how is it so hard to be
struggle.
like Asian, or how is it so hard to be, Black American? And then it's like a slave story, or it's a story about, I'm like embarrassed about the food that I bring to school. And that's the kind of things that people would publish because that's what the assumption was. Everything was going to be that sad story.
Right.
And I just think there should be all kinds of stories where you could just have a story about a girl falling in love for the first time or whatever. And the story isn't just about being Asian. Like, it's a part of her identity, but it's not the whole of her identity.
Right. And that's what I think I personally really loved about To All the Boys. I think I told you when we first met, my brother and I, we got home, we're like, let's watch something on Netflix, turned it on, and it was just like the first thing that was like, oh, let's give it a try. And for us, it was, oh, there's an Asian girl. Let's try it. And we watched the entire thing in silence for like 2 hours, and we ended, and we literally just looked at each other. It's like, that was great. That's like literally, and he goes, yeah, that was really good. And we were like, I'm like 30. Am I allowed to like this kind of thing? But we really liked it. And I think what I liked so much was that it was just a love story. It had very little to do with the fact that Lana, or the character, is Asian. There were little hints of it, like of the yakurta and like the little things of being Asian, but it felt so normal. And that's what I think we need now. Just like we're not exoticized, we're not in pain. We celebrate life just the way it is.
Just like humans.
Yeah.
Right? And I think, to me, it was like, I want people to know that there's many different ways to look as an all-American girl. It's not just one way, So people, I think that's just, to me, that takeaway is that we're all like just humans. And I'm hoping, I think I was so happy that the movie did well. I just hope it'll continue to like open more doors for people, and so we get different kinds of things. Like, I want to see our pain too. I want to see everything.
Right.
And I want to see, different kinds of Asian stories and like whatever. Like, that's the hope, is that you can't have one movie be bearing the burden to tell everybody's story. It's just like not possible. And then I think specificity is what makes a story good. Right? Is that it feels like this person's story.
Right.
But if you try to tell everybody's story, you're not going to be telling a good story.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. I think that's probably, I'd say To All the Boys and Crazy Rich Asians last year, they were just massive in terms of just getting Asians out there and like representation, and like hopefully in terms of casting and like future slates for production, it probably really moved the needle on. And I think for some people who critiqued either movie or any Asian character out there, there's always the thing of, well, that's not me.
Right.
Like, yes, well, it doesn't have to be you. There are billions of Asians in the world. There are billions of stories. So not everything is going to relate to you directly. In the same way, Crazy Rich Asians did not do well in Asia, because in Asia, that story just didn't connect with people.
Well, I think because in Asia, people are used to seeing themselves
in
on
that
the screen.
Way, yeah.
And then we were like, I definitely teared up at the theater when I saw it. Right. Just out of like, wow, like, it's cool to see this many Asian people in a movie in America. It felt like a moment.
A momentous kind of occasion.
Yeah,
yes.
for sure.
Absolutely. Hey guys, did you guys like that video? Then make sure you guys subscribe to Dive Studios YouTube channel and put your notifications on, because we got a lot more great content coming your way. Look at this video. See? Wow. And this is great too. Enjoy.